Sound check. Test 1, 2, 2, check.
Hey Tiger friends, it's Meredith with Tiger Lily Resources, and we are back for this week's episode of Tiger News Tell It All. Okay, so you did not miss an episode last week. I did. It was like, crazy busy, and I don't know how, but just missed a week. So I am not going to recap every single thing that has happened since I think it was the 6th was the last one I posted, and now today is the 19th. I'm going to just share some of the bigger highlights of the last 2 weeks because it's been good, full, fun, fantastic stuff. So let's get going. We are going to start with some important announcements that are upcoming. So we are 1 month away, literally like a month away from our Bible Battle for His Babies Trivia Night on July 19th from 7 p to 10 p out in O'Fallon, Missouri. And the event flyer is here, so you can see the location, how to get your tables. There are still tables available. Tickets are $20 each, individual tickets, or you can get a table of 8 for $150. And that is a super important fundraiser for us because we have some really big projects that are going on simultaneously. And I will show you those upcoming. But this, again, a very important fundraiser, and we hope we can be a part of it. If you can't be a part of it, but you want to contribute to the mission and the efforts, please feel free to. You can do that. I usually say this at the end, but I'm going to say this now. Might even repeat it. It's worth it. You can give on our website, www.tigerlilyresources.org. Hit the donate button, select the amount that you want to give, select the envelope that says become a monthly Tiger supporter, and do not forget to hit set recurring, or it will only be a one-time gift, which we're thankful for, but we would love to have you on mission with us every single month. You can also give on PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. Our handle is $ or @ Tiger Lily Resources. And those funds are because we are doing cool stuff. All right, so you know that we had or you don't know, we're going to catch you up now. We had a work day, serve day on June 1st down at our upcoming headquarters and training center, Fresh, a community collaborative. That's down at 544 East Broadway in Alton, Illinois, just across the Clark Bridge. And that space is going to be our outreach, our community connection point, our training center, our way to love on the area, empower the youth and students to not be vulnerable population, so they can have entrepreneurial ideas, financial insights, and public speaking, because you need to know how to do that if you're going to be successful in life. You need to know how to talk to people. And we're also doing trainings out of there for what is human trafficking, what does it look like, how can you end it, how can you have a part in it, training law enforcement, whoever wants to come. So we have been doing a lot of grant requests. I had mentioned I had put out more grant requests in like a week's span than I had in probably 4 years. And we have slowly started hearing back from some of the places that we have sent requests out to. One of the places, I will not disclose the full name yet, but it is a local credit union. We put our request out to contribute for the capital improvements that we are doing at this location. In the last video I mentioned, or maybe the one before, there was a lot of back and forth of misinformation that they received or didn't receive, or somehow strangely got, I don't know, of just information that was wrong about us. They had our address wrong. They had that we were not a 501c3. They had that we were requesting for operation expenses, which they don't give for, which we weren't asking for. So I sent an email out to the lady who gave the no response. And I was like, sometimes it can be a little daunting for small organizations like us to play the guessing game of who funds for what. So if you could just kindly let me know what is it that you do give funding for, so I know what to ask for and not waste your time or my time, that would be really helpful. So they do sponsorships for different events. So I'll reach out to them later for an upcoming event that we're going to have in October on the Illinois side. I'll reach out to them for that. And they also said that they contribute for capital improvements, which is what we were doing and which is what I asked for. So I resubmitted again the entire packet with our 501c3, with the actual requests that I put before, with pictures of the serve day to show that we have community involvement already and that there's action being taken at the location already. Great opportunity for them to get on board with it and be a part of it. And I submitted it all to them and they still said no. So we gave our very best effort, and I think the request was like $10,000. So we put our best foot forward and they still said no. So I don't know. So we put out requests to Walmart. There was 3 of them, one in Jerseyville, one in Godfrey, and one in Wood River. And I've received, each one was for $5,000 request on each one. And I received responses back from 2 of the 3, of which we did not get $5,000, but we got $500 each. So instead of being able to fund a full project, we paid a bill. So so that was $10,000. No. Another $10,000. No. We received $1,000. There's still other ones out there that we haven't heard back from yet, but we should start hearing from them soon. So the Bible Trivia Night is super important for us. We do have a goal of that for $10,000. So go ahead and get your tables. If you want to highlight your business in that, you can. There's sponsorship levels. Shoot a message over and I'll gladly get you the information for that. Also, another way that you can contribute is we do sell our own coffee. We have our own coffee line, Roast, Reach Out, and Stop Trafficking.
Coffee. Reach out and stop trafficking. Hand-roasted artisan coffee made fresh with each online order. Visit the Tiger Lily website at www.tigerlilyresources.org. That's TIGERLILI resources.org. And visit the Tiger store. Choose from the breakfast blend, Brazilian medium roast, the bold Colombian dark roast, or go for all 3 with the variety pack. Choose whole bean or ground. Every order helps women and children who are victims of sexual exploitation or human sex trafficking in the United States of America. Why would you drink any other coffee?
This weekend coming up is the Formula One Powerboat Racing Championships. Actually, I think it's the Nationals in Alton this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the 21st, 22nd, 23rd. I wanted to be a part of that event because it would be great exposure, and it's in our neck of the woods where our location is going to be at. So I looked into getting the vendor form filled out, and it was like $500 to be there, and we weren't going to be selling anything, just giving out information and connecting with people. So $500 for the entry fee plus insurance. So it's going to be like close to $1,000 to be in it. So I was praying about it and I was like, yeah, I don't know if that's really the best use of our funds right now, but I do want the word to get out of what's going on. So I approached a local establishment here. It's called Flock. It's right across the street from where the championship's going to be held at. And they are a food truck park and bar. And it's the coolest little concept. It's a little open air building that is like the restaurant seating area and then a bar. And then all the food trucks come and park around the building and you get to pick which food truck you want. And they rotate it. Right now they've got a space shuttle there, which is really cool. So we get to be there right across the street. We get to pop up our booth there and we're going to have information and be a cooling station because it's going to be hot. And we get to partner with Flock. And I think that's so cool because they are a local restaurant establishment and I just like to partner locally. So I was much happier to be able to join there instead of actually being in the event itself. So this week we found out from True Value. I put in a request to them several weeks ago requesting exterior paint for Fresh. And I didn't hear back from them. So I was just going in to follow up with them. This was on Monday. And I went in early. The guy I needed to talk to was on lunch. So I went and ran some errands. That's when the whole Flock thing happened. And then I went back to True Value and the guy that I needed to talk to was there. And a girl that was at the counter, she approached me and was like, hey, have you been helped yet? And the guy was like, literally, I could have touched him. He was that close to me, but he was on the computer, so I didn't want to interrupt. And I said, hey, I was just here a few weeks ago. I submitted our request, just wanted to follow up on it. And he turns around and he was like, hey. I was like, oh yeah. So just checking to see if, you guys had a chance to review it, what was going on. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, what? Like, yeah, you had a chance to review it? And he was just like, yeah, just let us know what you need. He's like, I mean, I know you need paint, but like, let us know like what you need, what colors, how much. And I was like, oh, you said yes? You guys are able to? And he was like, yeah, like whatever, like no biggie, like thought you knew that. I wanted to cry. I was like, oh my gosh, you just totally made my day. So we have had the interior paint donated with Sherwin-Williams. We have the exterior paint donated by True Value. I think their program's called Paint the World. So the whole building is going to be beautiful with paint that was donated. That was like probably, a couple $1,000s worth of paint. That's beautiful. So beautiful. And it's going to be beautiful. So after that, we had a meeting down at the building to get measurements for drywall and materials and all of that. One of the guys that was at our serve day has offered in his time, when he has time, to come in and help redo the framing and do the drywall for us if we just get the materials. I'm actually going to put on here the list of items that are current needs for the build out at Fresh. These are line items that are the electrical, the HVAC, the plumbing, the drywall, and then itemized, obviously the paint has been donated. But if you would like to contribute to any part of that, there will be buttons on the giving platform, Givelify, with an envelope that says Fresh, and you can choose that one and funds can go there directly for that project, and you can see the dollar amounts that are needed for that. Or if you have a skill set and you would like to contribute maybe like an installation of something, or I don't know, we'll get creative, but just want to put that out there that you can have your hands in our space and be a part of that part of the mission. Last Saturday, we just officially joined the Alton Farmers and Artisan Market. They have it every year from June to October, and it was really cool. It was a nice morning. It goes from 8 o'clock until noon. We had a really pretty setup. It was good. I decided that I'm getting a sign going forward that says, warning, sensitive content, because it is. And people either they avoided like the plague, didn't want to hear about it, or they were inquisitive, came up and talked, and they were just stuck. And I would tell them details and they were listening. They were, I'd be like, okay, go enjoy your day now. So I figured I'll give them the warning that there is sensitive content. We're there every Saturday, except for we have one weekend in July that we're there, and then we're not there in August. But we'll be back every weekend in September and October, which is fine with me because honestly, August is going to be very hot. Right after the farmer's market, we beelined our little tushes down to Potosi, and our Miss Megan did her first presentation at Blackbird Cafe. And you want to talk about every technical difficulty that you can face. That's when we know that we're on track, when the devil literally tries to have his hands in everything possible. So she was working on revamping the presentation to fit their area. She was pulling in slides and information of news of trafficking instances that actually happened in the Potosi area to let people know how real it is. And every time she would save it, and she'd go to reopen it again, it was done on PowerPoint. There was 113 slides. Every time she would go to reopen it again, everything would be jumbled. Videos would be on top of pictures, on top of the wrong slide, all over the place. I personally restructured everything 2 or 3 times. And then we finally get everything squared away. The flash drive is working. It's loaded on my computer. The computer is talking to the projector and everything's ready to go. And we turn it on and the projector, after 3 minutes, lights out. We'd have to unplug it, let it cool off again. That happened 3 times. So finally, she just proceeded with her first presentation with no projector. And at least she was able to get the marbles out of her mouth. And I think she did a very fine job for her very first presentation. And all of the hiccups that came along with it, she weathered it very well. So way to go, Megan. First presentation's done. Let's see what comes next. Prior to that, we had a big, huge, gigantic sheet bedding donation from a church, Our Redeemer Lutheran Church in Overland, Missouri. They donated 4 bagfuls of bedding for the beds here at the house. So that shows me that the Lord is calling this house open. The house of Rahab is going to be coming open again. Be in prayer with us. We are preparing for the children. Really good news. We got connected with a survivor, probably now going on about 2 weeks. we connected over Messenger and we started just talking about life and stuff and praying together. And in conversation, there was a couple of times that I had to kind of talk her through some pretty heavy attacks and of, just depression and anger and tears and all of that. So in conversation, I asked her, hey, have you ever had any healing for yourself since you've exited from this hell that you were in? And she was like, help of what kind? And I told her, I was like, we work with other ministries and organizations that are long-term trauma healing homes for people that have come out of situations like you came out of. Have you ever had any healing like that at all? And she was like, no, not yet, but I would like to. So this happened to her a few years ago. So she had been dealing with this trauma with no tools, no release, on her own with the Lord. She is saved. She actually just recently got baptized. But she hasn't had any structured, paused downtime to actually heal herself. So in that time when she said, yeah, she wanted to go get some help, 2 missions came into my mind, but the Lord was like, not yet. Okay. I couldn't tell her yet, which was like, why? I could, but I listened, I didn't. And literally 2 days later, she messaged me and she was like, hey, what do you know about this one organization? And I was like, get out of here. I was just going to tell you about that, but I couldn't. So that was the open door, right? So she proceeded with filling out their intake form. She did their interview and they actually ended up being full. So that one did not work for her, but there was another one that we knew about too that is a beautiful, beautiful program. It's just outside of Kansas City, Missouri. I actually did an interview with the founder. This organization is Rehope. And if you are interested to see about that organization, actually the first organization too was Eden's Glory. I had an interview with them. Both of those are on our website in the media page tab. Just scroll down and you'll see some of those 2 interviews, Rehope and Eden's Glory. That day that we, introduced the idea of Rehope to her, she went online immediately, filled out their intake form. Within 2 hours, she had a Zoom interview, and within 4 hours, she was accepted into their program. The next day, I put out a request to all of you about, hey, Tiger supporters, this little one, she needs help getting from Florida into this program. Can you guys step in and help with her airfare? Literally by lunchtime, she had airfare covered. And then some. She was able to get herself some lunch. She actually had to change her flight earlier. She was supposed to leave tomorrow on Thursday, but she actually had to move it up to yesterday, Tuesday. So she had to have that changed. And then she stayed in a hotel because it was a very early flight and it was right by the airport. So anyway, all of your giftings helped her travel smoothly from point A to point B. And she is now at her healing home right now. And I can't even with that. So thank you so much. Another life touched and saved, and she knows the Lord, and she's going to just get to know him even better in all of the ways that he already, in that whole process, how many times he just made it evidently clear that his hand was on that mission, on her journey. And it was like this most seamless, smoothest transition. And so the Lord was there. So those were kind of our bigger things that happened over the last 2 weeks. There was other stuff that happened in there, but just know that there's never a dull day here. There's always forward motion, always on to the next mission of whatever the Lord will have us do. And again, I'm going to invite you to be a part of this mission. We absolutely do need monthly supporters. Between getting Fresh Ready to Go, between getting Kingdom Come Mission Retreat Center, I'm actually going to pick the keys up for that tomorrow. How cool is that? So reminder again, here is that property. There's just so many projects that you can get your hands involved in, whether it's actually physically coming and helping clean out or prepare, or if it's financially. Your dollars go very, very far. And there is just so much growth and beauty happening right now within Tiger Lily Resources. And I really hope that you would jump on board and become a monthly supporter. Every amount helps. And we need a firm foundation, and we get that through you. You help us create that firm foundation. So again, if you would like to contribute to this mission, you can go onto our website, www.tigerlilyresources.org, hit the donate button at the top, choose the dollar amount that you want to give, choose the envelope that you want to give to. Monthly supporter is first pick, right? But there's also fresh, there's also kingdom come, and there's also where needed most. You can choose if it's a one-time gift, just put where needed most and it will be applied where it's needed most, believe me. And then also if you don't do the monthly, if you just want to do a one-time gift, you can also do that on PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. Again, our handle is @or Tiger Lily Resources. Every amount helps. We can't thank you enough. So I think that's a wrap for this week. I fit all of that and it's not too terribly long. So woohoo. All right. So Tiger friends, always thank you so much again for your love, your prayer, support always. And until next update, this is Meredith with Tiger Lily Resources, and I am signing off.
1, 2, 3, check.